So do I just go? Or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I came to Job Corps on a whim, not knowing what to expect or what I could gain from it. I came because I couldn't keep a job or an apartment, and things at home were difficult. Job Corps opened a window of opportunity for me that I wouldn't have had otherwise. Through all of school, starting at a young age, my mom and I never really had any sort of relationship. The older I got, the further we grew apart. We fought a lot, and some of the time I got physical. My sophomore year of high school, my mom was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. She was in and out of the hospital and in bed most days, so I filled in her shoes. I cooked and I cleaned after school, and I took care of my younger sisters as best I could. Through all of this, I was battling from within. Low self-esteem and depression consumed me, and on more than one occasion, I had thought of taking my own life. As one year faded into the next, I decided it was time for change. As I was trying to straighten out the tangled mess that was my life, my mom had taken a turn for the worse. Over the next year, she had almost died twice. I was afraid, and the way I reacted was to be angry. I was angry at my mom for being sick, and I was angry for the way that I had to grow up. I was angry because even with my mom still being on her deathbed, we couldn't get along. So I treated my family terribly. It was a constant battle between us right up to my high school graduation. After graduation, my family made the choice to move from Alaska to Idaho to help out my grandparents. Reluctantly, I agreed to come with them. I stayed for the summer to work and save up enough money to move back to Alaska on my own. Now 19, with money in my pocket, I bought my ticket and I was gone. I discovered the hard way that Alaska is a hard place to start your life, especially in the winter. September, October, and November were the 3 hardest months of my life. I had to work 2 full-time jobs just to make ends meet. In early October, I had found out that I was pregnant. I contacted the father, and he wanted nothing to do with me or the baby. So as October passed stressfully, I spent what little free time I had with friends trying to calm myself. By November, I was working 90-hour weeks, and the stress was beginning to take its toll on me. November 21st, 2008 is a day I will always remember. I had offered to cover a shift for a coworker, so I was there late. The friend I had plans with after work had started calling me around midnight, but being at work, I couldn't answer my phone. So when I got off around 2:30, I tried calling her back. With no answer, I tried calling a few more times. Still no answer. I drove to her house. She wasn't there. So I just went home to try and get a few hours of sleep. I was woken up from a restless sleep by a phone call. My friend had been killed by a drunk driver. The driver of the car had escaped the crash with a few scrapes and bruises, but my friend wasn't as lucky. She was killed instantly on impact. I realized then how precious life is and how quickly it can be taken away. 4 days after her crash, on the 25th of November, I had a miscarriage and I lost the baby. I called my parents and I begged them to bring me home. I never told them any details as to why I needed to be brought home so immediately, but they obliged, and I was back in Idaho December 3rd. Living back with my parents, I had fallen into a deep depression. Guilt about my friend and losing my baby consumed me. As I thought about my life from this point looking back, I never thought it was supposed to be this hard. I saw friends going off to college and being able to do the things that they had wanted to do and having the life that I wanted to live. And all I was doing was hearing about it. So from there, I decided I needed to work hard to get where I wanted to be. At 20, I decided I needed to take a look at my options. The Army sounded decent, so I went to talk with a recruiter. I was told I needed to lose weight before stepping foot in his office again. So what's my next option? I saw an ad on TV for Job Corps, and I started asking around about it. All I heard were negative things like, don't go there, that place is for delinquents, or don't do that, something better will come along. I wanted to be the judge, so I went to the meeting. What I found was a free place to live, food to eat, and I get a trade in the process. What's so wrong with that? So I filled out the application and I waited. While waiting, I got a job and I moved out of my parents' house. I worked for about a month when I got a call saying I would be leaving April 27th. I explained to them that I had found work, so I declined them, but I told them to keep my application on file. 3 weeks later, I was laid off, and my roommates kicked me out. So jobless, back with my parents, I was given an ultimatum. If you don't have a job in 3 weeks, you're homeless. I called the admissions counselor immediately, and I explained everything. She put me in the next input. I arrived at Columbia Basin Job Corps on June 8, 2010. That was the day that my old life had ended and my new life began. I came to Job Corps with a positive attitude and a desire to learn, ready to embark on a new adventure, so I gave it my all. I learned the rules and I picked culinary arts as my trade. I got the highest grade in my computer class and did the STEPS training. I was CPR certified and I also finished education. On center, I'm a CPP leader, a room leader, and currently running for SGA president. In my life, a hand up goes a long way, and even further with a positive attitude. I intend to get everything possible out of this opportunity as I can. I hope to go to advanced training in culinary arts so I can work for a cruise line for a while, and my long-term goal is to eventually open my own bakery, specializing in cakes. As for now, I'm a student with a lot to learn, with an open heart and a willing mind.